This episode of the Inside Runner podcast is brought to you by SaySky. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 at checkout.
Your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes?
Welcome to episode number 436 of the Inside Running podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. Got a kind of big show today. Box Hill Classic we're going to talk about. Nagoya Marathon, one of the biggest marathons that happens over there in Japan. Belgium Half Marathon Championships. We had a couple of Aussies go fast over there. State champs in South Australia, New South Wales Miles Clubs, and then a few just random bits of news here towards the bottom. Listen to question, Moose on the loose, and whispers. Welcome to my co-host. He's up in Canberra, still up there grinding croaks, slinging shoes. This man is. He's probably spending more time up there than he is in his regular postcode at the moment. Julian Spence, welcome to you this week.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I've been enjoying Canberra. Starting to feel like a bit of a local, recognising all the suburb names now. I've been riding my bike a bit, so I get to see a bit more of the country side, the capital, the nation's capital. Pretty good spot. A lot of runners out this morning, Croaks. Monday, everyone's got a day off. Public servants up here, so full public holidays, and everyone's gone down the lake, packed down there. It's good to see.
Yeah, another public holiday that falls on a Monday, recording day. We smack a few, boys. We smack and we rock up every time, don't we? Always here, public holidays.
Still haven't got a double time payment yet.
Never seen one, have I? Never seen one of those at all. But anyway, we'll do it for the people out there. Our other co-host is a 15-10 man of late, also elite athlete coordinator, I think, on Friday night for his local 5K race. Bradley Croker, welcome to you to this week's episode.
Thanks, Brady. Yeah, it was a good night. I'm not sure the elite race probably wasn't as elite as I would have liked to have been, which, yes, it's something we need to look at next year in terms of, like it was the race was just so strung out in terms of the depth. So, and I thought for $2,000 prize money, you would actually get a few more top level athletes. So I personally think that I would probably just scrap the invitational next year. Like, you offer $2,000 and you only get two women rock up, a couple of guys under 15, 3 people under 15 minutes. And it's not really the point of the night, really. So that money could probably just go to charity.
Is this because the elite athlete coordinator didn't do a good enough job, Moose? Like, his job's to recruit elite people.
What I see the problem here is he's created too many conflicts within his own life in the elite world, and so he's only got a small amount of people he can actually DM anymore.
I reckon the issue is just the time of the year. It's it's right in that peak track season with Grand Prix meets every fortnight. And those, big dogs, I suppose, have their season sort of mapped out.
So the issue is it's in Canberra. So unless you live there, you're probably not going to travel to Canberra for a race for the chance to maybe pick up $500 in third spot.
It's only 3 hours drive from Sydney.
You're talking to a guy that spends hours in the car all the time. I know this. But if you're talking about that elite, sub-elite guy who's maybe going to win, maybe going to come third, committing a trip to Canberra for $500.
That's a third. Third was what, 15-10 or something. That's not the elite sub-elite guy, Brady. We're talking.
Third place was 15.
No, third was under 15 as well. There was only 3 guys. There was 3 guys under 15. Yeah.
Oh wow. How many people at Sydney come that race where you ran 15-10 Croaks? How many people would have run under 15 that day?
I reckon there would have been 30. Yeah,
Shit, how
35
many
maybe.
people did you piss off when you used to live in Sydney?
No,
Oh,
Sydney's
a
not
lot.
that far away,
no,
is
I
it?
reckon
This is
it's.
disappointing from the Sydney siders.
I reckon it's more, and you find this in regional fun runs a lot. Someone good turns up one year, and then the next year, people just assume that somebody good's going to turn up. So they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to bother," and then it's a really weak year. And so I got a feeling that maybe this year people thought, "Oh, you know, Keir Myers might run, or Leanne Pompiani might run. Some of Dick Telford's guys might run," and so they go, "Well, I'm not going to travel down from Sydney for it." And then this year, now after this year's result, next year people are like, "Oh, well, you know, 1448 picked up $1,000 last year. I'll come this year." So yeah,
Wasn't the goal of the night though, was
no, it
it? You
wasn't.
wanted
No,
as many people running 5Ks as possible.
no, like eight. I think they raised just under $8,000 for charity. The recreational races were really good. Lots of people ran PBs. Lots of people ran 5K on the track for the first time. Actually, one of the early races, I asked them as they were lining up, "Put your hand up if this is the first time you've run 5K on the track," and would have been 80 to 90% put their hand up, which is pretty cool.
So you were doing the marshalling. He was the man in charge up there, Moose.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was event operations manager by the looks of it, or like course director, we'll call it. He did a good job. I saw him up there. He still managed to get his own workout in, and a big warm up and cool down as well. So I don't know how he pulled all that off.
Didn't speak to too many people on the night, to be honest.
I did.
Yeah, you brushed me off pretty quick, actually.
Our listener question from last week was from Rosemary, and she was up there in Action Croaks for the first time on the track for 5K, and she wrote into our Patreon yesterday. "Boys, thank you so much for answering my questions. It was all such good advice. I ignored all of it. I ran 1,800 meters as fast as I could, and then I trudged home at about marathon pace. It was the longest 3.2K of my life. Horrific, but also the best fun ever, and I can't wait to do it all again." So that's good, Crows.
Yeah.
Didn't listen to anything we said, but good that she wants to come back.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good vibe. Music playing. It was chilled out. Like Rory Hunter, he paced he ran like 21 minutes. And he before the race when he rocked up and there was music playing, he's like, "This is what athletics should be like." You know, like just chilled out, people running, like a good vibe around the track. And like the invitational race, although the race wasn't an amazing spectacle because, as I said, there was two women. Rogues won by like 200 meters and was a long way in front fairly early on. But the vibe down the home straight, like people were right on the track. And I had a few athletes in that race and they're like, "Oh, like had a terrible run because I got way too like amped up over the first couple of laps going through the crowd." But they're like, had a shit run, but the atmosphere was just awesome because those type of athletes would never get to experience that sort of vibe, like that Zatopek vibe at just a recreational track night. So that was pretty cool.
Good on you. Sounds like it was a very big success. Let's talk some training week, so fellas. Moose, do you want to kick us off this week? This first run's got to be coming soon, doesn't it? Got to be coming real soon.
Yeah, Mulligans. Actually, had a couple of guys ask me yesterday on the long runs, like, "Do you reckon over the next year we'll see Moose running in Mulligans with us?" I'm like, yeah, there's a good chance. I'm going to try and get him out on the bike at least.
Is he on mute for you?
Yeah,
His mouth's moving.
You're on mute, Moose.
Apologies. Not sure why that happened. So yeah, I'd love to get to Mulligans and come out. It's just a bit hard now because I've got a full-time gig at home as well as at work, and there's no way I can just jump out for a few hours on a Sunday morning at the moment. But I did exercise a lot more. So I was commuting to work every day, which is about 10 to 11K, depending on the route that I take. And I go pretty hard on this. I try to get a bit of a workout in there and back. So I'm doing about 21K a day on the bike, and it's fairly high heart rate stuff. Like I don't ever just freewheel. I'm always pushing, and I'm getting a little bit of competitive juice out when I see a bike up ahead, and I'm like charge them down and then have a little battle with them for a bit. And they're on like they're really cool road bikes. I just got my hardtail mountain bike just spinning away. They must think I'm the biggest dickhead ever, but I don't care.
Yeah, could you imagine if this was reversed and like you're out running and you've got some guy who's a cyclist that's turned to running and they're like, oh, I see this guy out on his easy run and I want to like get competitive and start like blowing past him. You think that guy's such a knob.
Yeah, I know, and I don't care because it is knob behavior, but it gets me a good workout in, and I got 30 minutes to get the heart rate up, and I spend 30 minutes with the heart rate up. So it's good for me, and I get a bit of power in the quads, which is good. I've upped my rehab. Everything was going real well. Last night I did some rehab, and I just got a real like crunch in my cartilage in my knee, so it pulled up a little rough, but it's not too bad right now. So I think maybe a week before I jog, we'll see.
Okay, that's exciting. Stay tuned for next week. How's the shop going? Is it like settled into a good routine and stuff now?
Oh, it's fucking been carnage. It's been so busy. So we've, yeah, like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's just been like, and like I get to work and I start serving people when the door opens. And I pretty much like I just go until the door shuts, and there's always people in store. So it just hasn't been empty for the last 3 days, and there's always been probably at least 2 groups to 3 groups of people just in the store. It's been really, really great atmosphere. The more I'm here, the more I love it.
Hey Moose, what percentage of people that jump on those fancy treadmills buy a pair of shoes?
95%.
You shouldn't be able to jump
95 to
on unless you're buying
99%.
there.
It's good.
That should be the rule. Don't get on one unless you're buying a pair of shoes. Hey, do
But
you guys
yeah,
do you guys do like phone consults?
I have done before.
I was just talking to one of my athletes the other day, and they were like talking to me about shoes, and they were like, "What's my opinion on this?" And I'm just like, "Look, I don't know, but like, call Toby at the running company Torquay. Tell him, tell him I've said to call him, or call Jimmy at Geelong, and like tell them these are the shoes." Like he pretty much had bought some shoes online, didn't like them, and was like, he knows the shoes he likes, knows the shoes he doesn't like, and then he wants to know what to buy next so he doesn't waste his money, kind of thing. And I'm like, I can't answer this question. And then there was another listener question that we got last week that was pretty specific about arthritis in a big toe. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one. I
think it come through our website.
Yeah,
but yeah, we get this stuff all the time. And I was like, it's hard to put that in as a show listener question because it's only going to probably suit one person, that answer. But yeah, can people actually ring up and be like, this is my situation, which shoe should I buy? And then, of course, buy it off you.
Absolutely. Like that's part of, we were doing that through COVID. We had like appointments scheduled in for phone consults for people who couldn't come in. So we got quite good at it. And Jimmy and Toby especially they ask all the right questions. The more amount of information you can give them, the more accurate the recommendation could be. Like I do it over email with a few people. Email takes a bit longer because you can't just get an answer straight away from someone. So yeah, I would definitely be calling up, and you can. It's not going to be 100% because you're not putting the shoe on your foot, but there's always fallbacks to that. Like you order a shoe, it doesn't feel good when it comes in the post. Like that's more information on what could work next time too, or like what to swap it for. So it's safe. It's relatively safe in that regard.
Do you feel like the consumer now knows more as well? Like these people that I'm talking to, like they've got 5 or 6 little facts in their head already that they're presenting to me, and I'm like, well, I can't give you the answer, but it sounds like you've come prepared.
Yes, it's good and bad. So like a little bit of knowledge can be kind of dangerous because often that little bit of knowledge might be coming from sort of the wrong sources. And there's a lot of wrong sources out there on like where people consume content, whether it's social media or like these shoe reviews, whatever. So yeah, like there are some really knowledgeable people coming in now that are very dialed in, but there's also some people that think they're really knowledgeable, but really they've just listened to 3 reviews that are all being paid for by a company, and they're from someone who has no idea about footwear at all. they're the ones that are like you. Once you start talking to them, you sort of can squeeze out that they don't they don't actually know what they're talking about, which is good, and they understand that pretty quick too.
Very good. Croaks, what have you been doing?
Just chipping away. Had another decent week. So yeah, kicked off Monday. Ran in the Super Blast 3 for the first time. So I spoke about that last week where I really enjoyed the shoe. Ran like fairly quick for low heart rate. So I averaged like 4:15s for an hour. Average heart rate, I think, was like 122 or something. And for context, I ran this morning for an hour, same loop in the Structure Plus, similar heart rate, and was about 10 seconds a K slower. So I think, yeah, that shoe's just in terms of how much return and bounce you get when you hit sort of the right spot. So that was
there's way more things though that can affect your heart rate, like the weather, how tired you were.
It's quite cool. It's quite cool here this morning though, in terms of weather. So like,
I think he's gonna love this though. Every time you put this shoe on, your heart rate drops 10 beats.
Well,
I've had we've had about 70 people come through and wear test this shoe over a 24-hour period. Thursday, Friday nights. It's so polarizing. Like your opinion on that, you're probably in the minority, I reckon.
Yeah. Also,
I was running with some ASIC-sponsored athletes yesterday, and we got chatting about it. And same thing, like some people love it, some not. So it's that they love it, but for different reasons. So some people like, great shoe, never going to put it on for a long run.
Well, for context, Medio pace was 407s last week, plus 3.2%. Today, 418s, plus 2.4%. So conditions were probably better today than they were last week. And I've run, 9 seconds a K faster for the same heart rate.
It's not fatigue.
Didn't you have like a really stressful week?
Not really. Anyway, it's certainly a more fun and bouncier shoe than the Structure Plus.
Oh, that's a good look. I haven't ran in that yet. Mine just arrived last week, but that's a good looking shoe.
Shoe, different purposes. There, Croaks. Not every shoe is about going faster.
I know, and that's what I said. That's what I said last week about the Super Blast 3. Like, I need to make sure I don't wear that all the time because I'm not going to have slow runs if I wear that thing on super easy days. So
Cam Myers loves that structure.
That's why I didn't wear it today. So then, that afternoon or just before lunch, did an hour on the bike. Tuesday, I ran in the morning. Did 8K for 21s and then went to the track that Arvo. So the session was 12 400s off 30 seconds recovery. Then jogged a lap. So it took about 2.5 minutes recovery, or maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes rest, and then did 400s off 1 minute standing. So most of the 400s off 30 seconds recovery were I think the slowest was 74. The fastest was just under 71. So average just under 73 for the 12 fours. And then the fours off 1 minute standing recovery was 70, 67, 67, 67. So it was a weird afternoon. It was wet. Like the track was wet and it was quite muggy. So I was actually really happy with those paces, particularly on the ones off the short recovery, because I always felt like I was recovering fairly well. Felt quite smooth at that pace. Obviously, the 67s were challenging, but given the high humidity and the wet track, I reckon it was probably worth a little bit more. At this point, I wasn't still sure what I was going to do on the Friday night, and so that was a bit of a taper session. Wednesday.
Hang on, Croaks. With this, can I just ask, what's the purpose of this one? Because you see some people do, say, 20 or 25 400s off 30 at the kind of pace you've done. Yep. But then you also see people do 10 400s at the pace you've done those 4x400s at the end. Was it just to mix them?
It was a bit of, so if I wasn't racing, because as of Tuesday afternoon, I was still probably going to race. So I was like, well, I want to do something that has a little bit of intensity to it, and that's why I did the 4.4s at the end and didn't do 20 straight. But if I wasn't racing on the Friday night, I would have done 2400s off 30 seconds recovery. So it was a bit of a mix. It's like, okay, slightly less 400s, but a few faster ones at the end. Yeah, so that's why it was a mix. So Wednesday I only did 16.5K instead of my normal sort of 21K, because at that point I'm like, okay, well, I still probably will race on Friday night. But then it was just after that Cam Myers messaged me and said, I've got a bit of a hamstring niggle, so I'm going to pull out of pacing on Friday night. So and Jimmy Barker said that he was originally going to do 2 races and he was now down to 1. So I'm like, okay, well, that's my decision then. I'll pace.
Call up the King Moose, the king of pacing.
Well,
this is the call he loves to get.
Yeah. Well, as I said, like the night was all about recreational runners, and I feel like the night is better by having some people that are running 21 minutes, 20 minutes, 19 minutes, 18 minutes, 17 minutes, as opposed to me going out and running a 15-minute 5K. So, so then went to the gym that afternoon. Thursday, I did 10.5K at 4.24s in the morning, jumped on the bike around lunchtime. And this was probably one of the hardest bike rides I've done in a long time, mainly because of the weather. So it's been so humid up here for Canberra. So I rode at like lunchtime. It was 26 degrees, 70% humidity in Canberra. So you could imagine in the garage, like, I just had sweat like pissing out of me. I reckon I averaged, I spent a fair bit of time with my heart rate, like close to like 150, I reckon, which didn't feel like I was actually cycling very hard, but it's just hot and humid. Friday, got out for 35 minutes in the morning at 4.24s. And then, my session was at this track meet. So I started off with 5K in 1950. So I just wore sort of normal joggers for that one. So that was like the sub 20-minute race. I then skipped a race. So I reckon I had maybe 40 minutes between that one and then my next pacing job. So the next one I ran 5K in 17:36, which sort of started off closer to sort of 18-minute pace. And then after probably a couple of laps, I look back and there's still probably 5 or 6 guys like right on me. So sort of just accelerated it a little bit. And a lot of guys there ran big PBs. I had one guy, Anthony, who hadn't broken 18 minutes before, and he ran 17:31. So that was good. And then probably had about 7 minutes recovery. And it's about 7 minutes recovery, and then jumped into the next one, which was like the sub sort of 17. Well, I was going to go out at around 16:40 pace, just based on what times people had put down for that race. So I ended up running just under 16:20. Helped Rob in that race. So Rob ran a really big PB. I reckon his PB before this race was like 16:50, maybe in the 40s somewhere, and he ran 16:15 with like a 69 second last lap. So it was a great run from him. And then I was umming and ahhing whether I was going to do a little bit in the invitational race for like the 16-minute runners, but I was just like, you know what, I've done 15K on the track. The last K of that last 5K was pretty quick. I just felt like the track was just beating me up a little bit. So I just did a 3K cool down. So it was still a fairly solid evening. Had Sam Jones, who came from like Sydney after work for the race. And so he stayed with me on Friday night. And like, I literally got like 90 minutes, 2 hours sleep that night, because we didn't get home till just after 11 o'clock. After going and grabbing some dinner, and both Viv and I didn't sleep much at all that night. And so we had little athletics, and Sam's never been in Mulligan's before, so I took him for a lap, and I definitely wouldn't have run, because we ran at like 7:30. Like I wouldn't have run probably until the afternoon that day. Finished running at 8 o'clock the night before, no sleep. So that was a bit of a grind. Did 8.5K, and then on Sunday we just did just over 2 hours, so 28.7K, 4:19s. Heart rate was just under 130 average for that one. So it was a week of just right on 130k, a couple of bike rides and a gym session. So like things are tracking okay.
Good, Croaks. What do we got between now and the longer stuff coming? What's coming up?
No, I'm going to do the Canberra Marathon 10k. So that's about a month away, and then I'll do Sydney 10 in May.
The 10k. That would
happy
be
hunting ground.
So I got two 10k races. So I think it's the 11th of April's the next one. So got to.
You could get someone decent in that 10k. I was going to say it might be a bit weak with the marathon and then the half marathon, but Michael Roger, he might pop up.
The only thing is it clashes with national track champs. That's the weekend of nationals. But there'll be someone like I'll be in that Canberra course. I reckon I'll be whatever I run there. I'd like to run a minute faster at Sydney 10.
Yeah,
that traditionally has been my conversion in the past.
A win would be nice though, wouldn't it?
I think
major road race in Australia.
I think there's too many faster runners than me these days for wins, unfortunately.
The 10k at those marathon festivals, you tend to get the kids coming up, don't you? Like the good kids, the 1,500 kids, and
the Croaks would still smoke the kids over a hilly 10k.
Oh yeah, just intimidate them.
We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, looking forward to sort of just putting in a decent sort of month of that, threshold sort of work. Decent weekly volume.
Good. This episode is brought to you by Say Sky. The Spring-Summer 2026 collection is inspired by the unspoken poetry of running, the grind, the breakthroughs, and those quiet moments where you find your rhythm. Because running isn't just a sport, it's a way of being. It's showing up for the early alarms, it's the heavy legs, the long runs, and chasing the feeling rather than the finish line. Say Sky is for runners who don't take shortcuts, who zig when others zag, and who find meaning in the process, always moving forward at your own rhythm. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off with our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 at checkout. Say Sky is also available at selected retailers across Australia, so you can check it out in person and see why so many runners are switching to the Star. I'll kick off my week. Started on Monday, 11.5k, 4:38. We had 100 mils of rain, boys. It just rained for like 24 hours straight. And I thought about going on the treadmill, but I'm like, nah, just go outside. And
how's the river?
The river's real low, so no worries about it flooding or anything. But just flash flooding, like gutters, footpaths, you're just running through. The gutters, just stormwater just can't keep up. But the bucket hat, that saves you. You just put a bucket hat on, tight, like one of those pull cords at the back, and you just get no rain on your face, and you just, like, you wouldn't want to do it every day, but an occasional run in the rain is quite refreshing, I think. So
what temperature was it?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It was still warm. Like it would have been, I don't know, 20 degrees, 18 degrees, and you just
shirt off.
I think maybe for the second half, but I would wring it out. Like I would every 5 minutes, just wring it out, and it would just go.
Well, that was us at the track
everywhere.
Track session last Tuesday night. It was like raining, but it was warm, so it's quite enjoyable.
Yeah. Tuesday, I did a workout. I'm a bit unprofessional at the moment, boys, where I just kind of make up a workout in the warm up. And then by the time I do some strides, I change it. And then when I'm in the actual workout, I change it again. Moose is shaking his head here because this is very unprofessional. But I wanted to do it. I wanted to get 15K worth of work at like marathon effort. So in the warm-up, I'm like, cool, I'm going to do 5x3K because that's pretty much the easiest way to do marathon work for 15K. And then I was like, nah, like do 3x5K. I can do that. And then I was doing the first rep and I felt fine at 5K. So I was like, I'll just go to 6K. Then I got to 6K, felt fine. Got to 7K, felt fine. Got to 8K and I'm like, all right, now I'll have a 2-minute jog. So I did 8K and then I did 4K, then I did 3K. At marathon effort, probably for the 8 and the 4, probably working a bit harder than marathon effort for the last 3K. Probably hovered around 3:23 pace for the efforts. And 2 minutes jog in between. That kind of goes pretty quick, but it was like 4:30 pace for the jogs, I reckon. It wasn't too slow that I needed to recover from it. It was just more take the foot off the gas for a couple of minutes before you go again. Been wearing give me an opinion on this shoe, Moose. Not sure if you've rated it yet, Croaks, but Puma sent us a pair. The Fast R3. So this was the one that come with all the hype this time last year, didn't it?
Yeah, pre-Ballarat, because like that was the debut weekend, I think, for the shoe, because you had London.
Boston, was it Boston that it debuted?
Boston as well, because Rory Linkletter wore it, ran a massive PB. Pat Tiernan ran really well in it, but then you saw some Puma athletes not run well in it, and then there was stuff about you need to work on your calf strength to be able to handle the shoe. Some people don't wear it over like a 10K or half marathon, and it seems to be really hit and miss. But I've only worn it up to 15K, and it's ticking the boxes for me so far. I'll test it out. It's a real contender for me to wear at Boston 6 weeks out, because it's ticking all the boxes so far, but I do need to put it through its paces at 25K, 30K.
That's right. You can do a half an hour workout in a shoe and it can feel great. And you're not going to have that fatigue in your legs where you change your gait a bit, because there's not much heel in this shoe. It basically disappears at the back.
Yeah.
So if you're up on your forefoot, you're ripping along, and you got a lot of pop in your stride, which is what you get when you do these shorter workouts, 30 minutes, even up to an hour, really. After 2 hours, you're not really hitting the ground the same as what you are during these workouts. And that's sort of what we talk about when we say a forgiving shoe or a democratic shoe or an insurance policy for when things start to fatigue is having a bit of platform at the back of the shoe so that you're not just caving off it in the second half of the race. And I think the Pumas, unless you're a light person, you'll be a lot better. You'll be able to use it. It's unusable for me at the back end of a marathon for sure, but I really do like it over shorter distance stuff.
Oh yeah, I think I said the other week when I did some K on K floats, and it felt amazing at 3:15 pace, and then when I went back to float at say 3:35 pace, it felt a bit like I didn't know what to do in it. I'm like, where should I be landing for this pace? But when I got going, I'm like, God, 3:15s felt easy that day. Which is a great sign when you're looking at your watch thinking they shouldn't be coming this easy. So yeah, a bit more testing to go in that. Croaks, have you worn yours yet?
I haven't, but I've penciled it in to be my 10K road shoe, mainly on other people's experiences. So Rob Wilson, he ran his Valencia Marathon PB in this shoe, but then he also ran 16:15 on the track on Friday night in it, with a 69-second last lap. And I've never seen Rob run a 69-second lap ever in training or whatever. And he swears by it. So I'm excited to obviously wear it a few times before the 10K, but I think at this stage I'm going to give that a crack. And then you look at Dan Nash. He ran his marathon, he ran his PB in it. So yeah.
And he said on the UK Monthly that he was doing a whole stack of calf raises and things like that in the weeks leading in to be trying to get his body ready to handle it.
Do you reckon with these calf issues though, you're fairly safe over 5-10K in it?
Oh yeah.
Or you're going to pull up still fairly badly with sore calves because you're running faster?
Yeah, well, if I had a suspect calf, I wouldn't be using it for anything, because the shoes that are out there, you look at the shoes similar to it, the Deviate Nitro Elite 4, that thing there has the same foam in it. It's the same weight. It's just slightly less aggressive. But if you've got a suspect calf, it's going to feel so much better in that shoe than the Fast R.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I've done sessions in that on the treadmill, and I've enjoyed that shoe.
Yeah.
Did you say they're similar weight?
Yeah, same weight.
Yeah, gotcha. Wednesday did 80 minutes, same thing. Croaks pretty humid, 4:34 pace. Thursday, 60 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. Friday, got on the treadie for a workout, first time in months because it's just so dark, can't see the ground. So I did 20 by 75 seconds with 30 seconds recovery, just stand on the side of the treadmill. I did the first 10 at 19K an hour, the next 5 at 19.5, the last 5 at 20K an hour, which is somewhere between 3:10 pace and 3 minute pace. depending on what treadmill you're using. I don't know how accurate this is. The watch
Wait.
gives me all kinds of numbers. Even when I do it at the same pace, the watch gives me all kinds of numbers. Question, Julian?
It's a measurement. So, like it's a it's not like sometimes it's 3:10, sometimes it's 3 minutes.
Oh, no,
20k an hour is 3 minutes a k.
Yeah, but when I started, the first 10 were at 3:10. The next
Oh,
5
okay.
were at 3:05, and then the last 5
I
were at
gotcha.
3-minute K pace. Yeah, I changed it.
Yep.
But then I'm like, is this really 3-minute K pace? Nearly
Mm.
came off at one stage because because you jump off to the sides, and then when you jump back on, the treadmill's still going 20k an hour. So you've got to get to 20k an hour in the first step, which isn't easy to do, boys. But you can kind of hang on to the sides and like let your legs like start spinning, but you've only got 30 seconds off. So it's like your watch is beeping at you to jump back on, but you don't want to jump on too early because you actually want to try to recover. Heart rate data doesn't really help you because I just can't get my heart rate up on the treadmill, but it felt like I was working at that pace.
I reckon this is sorry to interrupt, Ray. I reckon this is a terrible treadmill session. Like I couldn't think of anything worse.
No, beautiful, Chris.
No, like jumping on and off that often and for such a short period of time, like pretty much 3-minute reps is my limit on the treadmill in terms of I won't do reps shorter than that. Just
this is what our blue collar people got to do, Croaks, when it's too dark outside.
But because you're making up the sessions, why didn't you just do like 3-minute reps or something?
3 minutes too long. I wanted some speed stuff. I wanted to tick the legs over. I've been doing heaps of stuff between like 3:15 and 3:30, so I wanted some faster stuff. Yeah. But it is good when you jump on. You don't have to worry about pacing it. Like looking at your watch, do I need to go quicker? Do I need to go slower? You just got to stay on until your watch starts beeping, then jump off again. Geez, you're sweating there though. You get some strange looks too when you're jumping on for 75. And like I'm like 58 kilos, and it feels like I am killing this treadmill. Like I'm making a lot of noise. It's bouncing around. Like, what do you like on there, Moose, if you're doing some fast stuff?
I need a solid treadmill, that's for sure. Yeah. And it needs to be, it can't have any sort of rattle to it because, that thing falls apart.
You got to find your line too, don't you? Like I felt like I felt really smooth or terrible. There was nothing in between. I was like bouncing around or I was locked in. So
it's a weird, doing that in the middle of the gym. It's got a bit of look at me about you.
Yeah, but there's no other option. It's not in the middle. It's like off to the side. But yeah, there's a few.
I feel like with that session as well, Brady, like you know how when you jump on the treadmill and it's going at 20k an hour, like it takes you a little while. It takes you longer on the treadmill to find your rhythm, I reckon, than you do when you're outside and you press just lap and you go. And then you're off in less than a minute after you've just sort of got going and got your rhythm.
Yeah. Well, here's the problems we have up here, Croaks. But I'm going to do 25, I think, this Friday. Might even do. I remember Dan gave me 30 once. I did 30. So swap singlets like after 10 because the singlet's just sweating. So try get your singlet off. Getting your singlet off knocks one of your headphones out. If headphone hits the back of the treadmill, you look at your watch, you've got like 6 seconds to go on the next rep. There's an old lady looking at you who's lifting weights over in the corner going, what the heck's this guy doing? You're not meant to have like your shirt off in the gym. I'm trying to find my other singlet. Anyway, boys, there was a bit happening Friday morning in the gym. Saturday did 18K. Dan was in town, so was half of Melbourne, I think. Never ran past so many people in my life in a Chukamoama. This run and boom, it's real, boys. It's real. People everywhere. And black on black's a real trend, isn't it? Everyone's wearing black
Melbourne thing. Yeah. Melbourne thing.
We were running through the Port of Echuca, and there's I'm going to say 12 people running towards us, and they got their phones out because they're in the Port of Echuca, like one of the most significant kind of tourist locations, I guess, in Australia for overseas listeners. None of them said hello. All, very attractive men and women, tans, but everyone, black hat, black crop top, black shorts, just black. So yeah, good to get a bit of exposure to that up here in the country.
You're describing my holiday periods, the down in Geelong. I mean, like down the coast.
Yeah. You just want to, a bit of acknowledgement be nice. I run through every day of the week, and now you're coming to my home turf and just a nod, a good morning back, something like that.
Who do you think you are? Don't you know me?
A bit of that, yeah. Sunday went down to Bendigo, 35k over the hills. I started half an hour early. I had to get home for a 7-year-old birthday party, and went over the hills. Johnny was in town. You know Johnny Squires, boys.
Yeah, did a run with Johnny and Mulligan's a couple of years ago.
Johnny's real fit too, so he was doing 2.5 hours as well. Trying to talk Andy out of buying a Ford Raptor. I was like, mate, buy a Kia. Get one of the new Kia Utes. You don't need a Ford Raptor. Bit of chat too, like Formula One's on, AFL's back. We had some good chat on this one. 600 meters worth of hills, boys. I'm getting fit. Getting real fit.
Pretty hilly for you. Very hilly. How'd you pull up?
Pulled up great today. Like weird great. That I'm like, I should actually have some DOMs, but I don't. But yeah, rolled a couple of ankles. Saw a couple of my cousins out there. Saw my cousin Jared, a couple of second cousins. Just a real family affair. It was a beautiful morning out. A bit cooler too, so the heart rate was a bit lower.
Drop anyone up a hill?
No, I'm still hanging on the hills. That was Andy's first 2-hour run, so he's getting back fit pretty quick. The
Did he drop you?
There. Yeah, I got dropped. We were talking about like how they can deflect missiles at one stage as we're going up this hill, and I like talking about the wrong kind of content for me. I don't know. You know how when a country shoots a missile and they shoot them out of the air, that kind of stuff. And I just couldn't. I'm like, I can't talk. I'm getting dropped up this hill. Heart rate's at 160, and you're trying to talk to me about deflected missiles. So,
bit of political chat on. Is there a new athlete in the group down there in Bendigo?
New athlete.
Like Grace Tame spends a lot of time down there.
Nah, she wasn't in the group. I haven't been there the same weekend she's been there. But they started getting political the other week, and I moved it on pretty quick. Because I'm out there hurting, Moose. I'm out there. People, as I said, I'm a bit of a punching bag on a Sunday long run at the moment, and I need the content to be something I can relate to.
Well, you just need to. The key when you're not as fit as somebody else on a hilly run, Brady, is you ask a question at the base of the hill that's actually going to take somebody quite a long time to answer, because then they have to talk and you don't have to.
Look, I'm not unfit, but the fact that I'm next to the Australian marathon record holder who's just jumps up bloody these hills easy makes me look bad. That was a good week. 146 weeks to go, boys. 6 weeks. We're getting there. It's going to be. I think I've got some bad news as well, but I might save that to the monthly. We might be down a soldier in Boston.
I think we know who that is.
I've been trying to talk him into it. Said just go run 2:30 with Jordo Donnelly out the back. You guys can have some fun together. But yeah, we'll see.
That is actually not what he needs to do.
That's what he said.
Chriso needs to actually listen. Like, he's obviously had a real rough month with sickness and his body, and like what's the point of him going and running another 2 hours 30 marathon? He's better off getting himself 100%, putting in a good block for a marathon where he can run well.
That's exactly what he said, Crooks. But how boring is the pub going to be afterwards if Chriso's not there?
Yeah, but you're being selfish here. You're thinking about yourself, not Chriso.
I've only seen him twice ever in person, Valencia and Berlin. I just wanted to see him in person again. Anyway, that was my week. Let's now thank some Patreon supporters. Croaks, who you got?
I got Liam Blaney, lives in Brisbane and is part of the Burt squad, I'm pretty sure. Has run 16:12 at the Sandgate Park Run, 35:42 at last year's Bridge to Brisbane 10K, 76:18 at Gold Coast Half, and 3:16 at the 2024 Gold Coast Marathon. I also think he is a primary school teacher. So
yeah, he is. Yeah. I know Liam. Another chalky. Good bloke too.
Thanks for your support, Liam. And congrats. Some pretty solid PBs there.
This is when you be quiet at this stage of the show, Moose, when we start talking about school teachers. Because you got a couple of enemies.
Oh, there's nothing better than triggering a school teacher. Because I'm listening to Croaks' week going, it's like pretty much a full-time athlete. Like, he got out in the morning for his jog, then at lunchtime he goes for a bike ride. What happened in the Arvo, Croaks? Just been on Netflix?
Probably, yeah. Yep, may have picked the kids up from school.
How's your wife let this happen? If I did that, my wife would be absolutely she would be forcing me out the door to get a job or something. Or you better be building a second story on the house.
Mate, I make money. I'm all right. Make more than her.
Actually.
Make more than her, actually.
He's
I
clocked.
am shocked at the amount of people that you coach. Every second person through the store up here, Brady. Oh, yeah, I'm one of Brad's athletes. I'm like, Jesus, is anyone not a Brad athlete in Canberra?
Wouldn't be much
It's,
personalisation going on with that many with their moose.
Well, I don't.
A
I
bit of
said,
AI
Yeah,
copy
but
paste.
when you don't do anything else all week other than coach, you got plenty of time for coaching.
yeah, full time, mate.
Right.
You've done well here. Set yourself up to just be a pro
Because he
athlete.
works for himself as well, Moose. Like, me and you, we've got companies, we're paying bills, paying website hosting fees, stuff like that.
Yeah,
This bloke's just
nah,
Don't
the
even
one man band.
have a website.
He's clocked it. He's
Google
clocked the
Sheets.
system.
Yeah.
Who are you thanking, Moose?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's all right.
Oh, that's not a word. You looking at what I'm looking at there?
Yeah.
That's like a character that you use.
Yeah. It's the A and the E is together.
Yeah. You can't have an A and an E together.
It's the Norwegian keypad.
It doesn't make any sense, though. Is it English or not?
It's known as Ash. It says here the character AE like that is known as Ash.
So what I'm looking at is an A and an E joined together like a conjoined twin.
So is that Sashland then, Brady?
Well, mate, according to the first thing I Googled, no actual knowledge of my own head here, but yes.
Because I would have said Salen. Salen, but that makes a lot of sense though, Brady.
But if that was sailing, then why don't they just put a space between the A and the E like normal humans?
Well, clearly it means Ash.
Don't quote me on this. Like, I'm just skimming the top of this website.
What's his
Right,
his first name? You okay with that one, Moose?
It's still not right, though. His name's Krista. So it's like not Christian or Christopher, it's Krista. So Christopher Salen, S-A-E conjoined L-E-N. He's from Bergen in Norway. According to Strava, he's run 18:10 for 5K, 37:45 for 10K, 20 minutes at the 2022 Berlin Half, and 2:59. Oop,
No,
you
not
fucked
20
that,
minutes.
folks.
Yeah. Not sure, but I'll check.
1 hour, 20 minutes? I'm going to go 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Geez, I was just in the zone then. I didn't even pick that up. And he ran 2:59 at the 2018 New York Marathon. Very good, Krista.
Thanks, Krista. I want to thank Mick Carter from Ballarat. Croaks thinks he might be a run to PB athlete. I did check the invoicing sheet before Croaks, and I reckon his name was in the system there. Has run 22:37 at the Ballarat Park Run. Did last year's Lap of the Lake in Ballarat. What a unique race, Moose. Just get around the lake. Don't have to stick to the path. Do what you want. Cut through the playground if you want. Just stay between the road and the water.
It's an iconic event too. And there's a list of winners that goes back decades. And it's you want to get your name on that list.
Did you win it?
Yeah, I won it.
Oh, you did.
What time did you run? It wasn't great. 18:12 was my best. You want to go under 18 too, by the way.
We went over from Bendigo one year, and we didn't know that there was that rule that you didn't have to stick to the path. And then Croaks, you got like the locals over there, and like half the locals think it's better to stick to the path to have the better surface. Then there's 5 or 6 guys that go cross country through these little dog parks, and they're running through the swings. And we didn't. We're like sitting in 10th, 11th, and 12th. Me and a couple of Bendigo boys, and everyone in front of us just starts peeling off different ways. And you're like, what the heck's happening here? And then they all merge up a K later and get back on the path, and then people are zigzagging, and very unique, kind of cool.
Don't know if I like that. I reckon there should be like a so when Mono ran his lap, was he cutting through playgrounds or was he sticking to a path?
But this is the funny story about that. Mono's dad was out there sweeping up, like clearing the track for his attempt. So get all the pine cones out of there, all the rocks, any type of loose gravel out of there. And this path through it's like a park, and it's not stable grass. Like it's not beautiful little lawn. It's like patchy, like an awful paddock or something. And so running that, and you've also got off-lead dogs in there, and you got bloody prams, and so you've got to be pretty careful with that one. But yeah, I reckon the course was fairly manicured for Mono that day.
Is there a chance, Moose, like if the lake's a bit low on water, that you can actually run shorter distances from year to year because you can get up onto the sand where the water comes
It
up?
was empty for years, wasn't it, Moose? In the
Well,
drought,
yeah,
early
Ash Watson
2000s.
is the record holder. He's got the record for one side of the lake to the other directly across. They had a race there one year when it was empty. So it's a one-off race. You run to the other side and then you run back, and he's got the record for it. So he always reminds you about that.
Did
But
they find heaps of stuff in the lake when the drought hit?
I don't know. Oh, that was before my time.
Burnout cars.
There's some, yeah. There's people swim in the lake still. It's real. They got like these grass cutters in there. They just churn up the weed, so it creates something for so the rowers can row and the swimmers can swim and that. Yeah.
Anyway, back to Mick. According to Strava, he ran 151 at the 2012 Melbourne Half Marathon, but may have run 143 at the 2023 Melbourne Marathon in the half. Appears to be putting in a good block of training now. We think he could be racing Ballarat in about 7 weeks. So good luck, Mick, if that is your preparation happening now. Thanks to our Patreon supporters. UK Monthly Boys did their show yesterday. You can purchase that as a one-off purchase if that's what you want to do. Cheaper if you go to the Patreon website directly. If you're on an iPhone, iOS charge you a few extra bucks through that transaction. What have we got this week? Gregson and I also did a Q&A episode the other week. Got through about 35 questions, Moose. Gregson and I just nailing questions. And then the Road to Somewhere cruise on this week. So keep an eye out for that one. All the information is at patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast. Running News, which is brought to you this week by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Box Hill Classic, there was a standout performance here, boys. Claudia Hollingsworth, 358.09. So to let that sink in, third on the Australian list, which is also like a all-comer record to Australia. So think about everyone who's run a 1500 on our soil. This is the fastest one, which is pretty cool because Sydney Olympics, we had the Olympics here. We've had some fast girls run at nationals and stuff.
And she did it like she had a pacemaker for just under 800 meters, and then it was just her and the lights, which
Binderia Boyer, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is pretty impressive. Yeah. Like for a 1500 to be running the last 700 all by yourself, like she would run. Imagine how much faster she'd run if she had people there for that last 700 meters.
Yeah.
Well, Jess Hull's run her runs with Faith Kipyegon in front of her mainly. So. Yeah, and that's in a grand stadiums in Europe with people cheering and pace lights and everything. And then Claudia, I mean, there was probably pace lights.
Also got 8 seconds quicker though.
Yeah.
But it's exciting for Australian middle distance running when she's doing this in March.
Mia Rue was second. She ran 4:22, so a pretty big gap there. Thomas Moorcroft won the men's 3:43. Ed Beischer was second, 3:46. 800 metres was also there. Rachel O'Brien won that from Declan Tanner, 2:06 to 2:07. Junya Matsumoto won the men's 1:47 to DeGrasse Amakata, 1:48. Japanese fellas there, Croaks?
I think
some of the guys were at Hobart Track Classic.
The first guy is DeGrasse, though. I think he's from South Australia because I remember mentioning his name at he won the ACT 1500 metre champs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Name to watch there, starting to pop up a bit. 3K, Tom Bowers won in 8:10 from Will Garboletto in 8:13. Ainsley Milner won the women's in 9:29 from Catherine Dowie in 9:38. Other bit of news we had this morning, we woke up to a new world record over the half marathon. This was set by Jacob Kiplimo at the same place that he set his previous one that then wasn't ratified because he was too close to the car.
No, wasn't it Barcelona? He ran.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think he ran 56:42 in Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this one's Lisbon.
Yeah.
So he ran 57:20 to break Kajalcha's world record of 57:30. Was not as fast as his 56:42 though that he ran in Barcelona. Yeah, you've got that written.
Which is sort of rough. The bloke still run 56:42.
How's he 38 seconds slower though? He must how is he? If he wasn't getting aided by the car,
the course,
be pretty similar?
the weather. There's a lot of factors. Just like
maybe
my Mondays in Mulligans, a lot of
He
factors.
wasn't in the super fast 3. His heart rate was getting too high.
Anyone see what shoes he wore?
Nah, but did you see him run through the line? He hammered through the line, ran around, didn't even look tired. This guy is cut from a different cloth.
We always worry about that.
Yeah.
I
was not excited about this at all. I was just like, oh, yeah.
London Marathon. Hey, that's his debut, isn't it?
No,
sorry.
Last year.
But he's doing London, isn't he?
He's doing London,
yeah. I got a feeling this bloke's the Cam Warwar, though. Like the bloke who can't, he's a world beater, world record holder at a half marathon, but he can't get across to the marathon.
He's only had one go, though.
Yeah, no, it's my feeling, though. It's my feeling.
It's a good feel. It's a good big call early on in his career.
What do we got, a slab for London on him? I have no insights on this except for the Cam Warwar comparison. But slab 2:01.
I think it's rough on Cam Warwar. Didn't he? He's won in New York, hasn't he?
It was never that good. And he was never. We're talking about the guy who won fucking 6 world half championships.
Yeah, but I feel like you're judging him very hard. Let me just look.
I feel like Kiplimo is a better athlete than Cam Warrell, though, because if you look at across the board, Kiplimo's running well over the half, but he's also dominated world cross country. I don't think Cam Warrell's dominated cross country the way that Kiplimo has, and also
he's won 3 of them, Grogs. Three times world cross country champion.
Who's that? Cam Warrell?
Yeah.
But on the track, Kiplimo has achieved way more on the track than what Cam Warrell ever did.
He got hit by that motorbike, didn't he, Cam Warrell? People always thought that was slowing him down. Yeah, I think who was the year train guy in breaking 2?
Tedeschi.
Yeah. Here's the one that didn't convert. Here's the gold standard in not converting. No official slab bets on that. The women's race was won by Taziki Gebra Salima. She ran 64:48, flying. Nagoya Croaks, no Moose. We had an Australian in action over there, Jen Gregson.
Yeah, this was impressive, I thought. She's run 2:25 to come 8th in Nagoya Marathon. It's never that fast of a place to run either, Nagoya. It's pretty good, but it ain't the same level as these other races we look at. I'm not sure how. It looked like she had a sprint finish with a lady. I'm not sure how lonely she was out there. But the winner was Sheila Chepkarui, who won 2:21:54. Sayaka Sato, she ran 2:21:56. But yeah, Jen in 2:25:06. That is a good step forward for Jen, I reckon. Brett ran the half marathon, won it 63:47.
Yeah, it's a good improvement from Jen's Valencia. Obviously, she hadn't been back very long at Valencia, and that was 2:29, and probably a place where you can run faster than what you can run at Nagoya. So the fact that she's 4 minutes faster, and will probably only continue to get faster as she strings together more and more consistent training.
It's an impressive backup too. Valencia wasn't that long ago. You take a few weeks, you're pretty much taking the rest of the year to recover, and then you're racing early March. So you got Jan and Feb to prep before you're into your taper.
I tell you what,
she's been
I was just going to say that the most impressive thing I think about this is doing a marathon block in Brisbane in summer. That has got to be yes, there's some amazing heat gains to be had, but it would be absolutely brutal doing something like 4x5K with 25 degrees, 90% humidity.
She was up at Falls Creek for a while, but that's also a hard place to do those long marathon workouts. Back on Jeffrey Conwaro. You're saying he's a failure as a marathon runner, Moose. So he's won New York twice, 2nd at New York, 2nd at London, 3rd at Berlin twice and New York.
Yep. So what's his PB?
Let me find that. PB 2:04.
Yeah. So we're talking about a guy here who was unbeatable, world record holder in the half. He was
he
touted. Yeah. He was touted.
1 in the half.
Was that not the world record at the time?
Could have been, yeah. I'm not sure if it was at the time. He
But
was always going to be the replacement of Kipchoge. His training partner, he was going to come and take over his dominance, which he didn't do, but he still ran some good marathons.
yeah, but it's not the same. Like, all right, it's pretty good, but it was not. He didn't live up to his potential.
He won 3 World Half Championships.
3, yeah, heaps of them.
Yeah.
And did he win 3 World Cross as well?
Yeah, it said that, he won some junior races there too.
So he held the world record in 2019 when he ran 58.01, and then Kibiwot Candy broke it in 2020, running 57.32.
And he was a dog though, right?
He got busted.
Yeah. And then Kiplimo was 57.31 in Lisbon, and then Kajelcha 57.30 in Valencia.
Yeah. That's going to be a good marathon. That's going to be one to put the kids to bed early for.
Because Sarway's there as well, isn't he? Because everyone's
Oh, that is going to be fun to watch.
And the women's race is stacked as well. And I love
I'm going to be there, boys. I'm going to be there.
I still love that Brady, after the Boston elite field was released, he's like, oh, there's not going to be anyone left for London. And then the London field comes out and it's just stacked.
But Boston's also stacked.
Yeah.
They're both stacked. What else you telling me, Moose? Belgium.
Yes, Belgium Half Marathon champs. Bashir's run. Is that what the name of the race is
Yeah,
called?
that's what it's called. Yep.
Bashir's. I'm guessing Bashir Abdi is the who it's named after.
Correct.
Big time here. Liam Budens was 6th place, 61.08. He's obviously run a long way with Tim Vincent, who's 7th in 61.17. They're big time. 61.08's got to be some sort of like top 20 list or something. Do we have an all time on that?
I'll find out for us.
Find out for us, Croaks.
Going under the radar, especially Liam Buden.
Yeah, that's fast.
They're both running London too, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. It's good.
This course looked like it was on bike tracks and stuff too, Croaks.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the course, but it's good to see. Like, I know, like Timmy Vincent's probably like the last few months hasn't been great. Like both those boys, I thought really struggled at like World Cross Trial, and then Liam had a decent run. What was it, Maragami? Whereas Timmy struggled. Yeah. So Tim's obviously back, and that was a PB for Tim as well. Well, both of them, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Bashir Abdi did win his own race in 59.28, which, pretty good. Pretty good, like, as you said, on bike paths. So SA state champs, you've only given me one event here, Croaks, the 800, which Jessica McManus won in 2:06 to beat Victoria Kolsch, 2:08, and Alex Twartz ran 1:49 to beat DeGrasse Amakata, 1:50.
Yeah. And the reason for that, Moose, is the 1500 is on today.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, hasn't been run yet.
Yeah, you're going to get some hate mail from that.
Can't put a result in that hasn't happened yet, but
you're being generous giving them any results, Croaks.
Well, one option was to basically hold off until next week and then report on it all. But I put this one in, and then I was check to see when the 1500 was on. It's about lunchtime today, I reckon.
You, Croaks, what do you got?
Yeah, I've got New South Wales Milers meet. This is on Saturday night. Women's 800, Jayla Hancock-Cameron. She loves to race. She won in 2:02, beat Mabel Dukes 2:10. Lockie Raper got the win in the men's 1:48, beat Lawson Fittler 1:49. I think Ben Liddy coached athletes, finished 1, 2, 3, 4 in that race. So it's pretty impressive from that stable. 1500 meters, Pippa Schwartz got the win there in 4:24, beating Ruby Madden 4:27. In the men's, Kieran Shepherd ran 3:45.2 to beat Matt McLaughlin 3:45.46. And both those boys are like really young. I think both sort of under like eligible for like World Juniors sort of thing. So that's that result. Just some other information throughout the week. So remember, was it last week we spoke about the shit show with the US Half Marathon Championships where those 3 girls got sort of taken the wrong way.
Mhm.
So there's been some news since then. So what Atlanta Track Club or whoever put on the event, they've agreed to pay McClain $20,000, which is the first place prize money, given she was a long way in front. And then the two other girls who were running next to each other when they were taken off course, they were in second and third place at the time. Hurley and Kurgat will split the combined second prize and third prize money. So that's about $20,000 will be split between the two of them for second and third. So good from the event there, and I believe that the US is they still working on what they're going to do with the selection for that world half marathon champs. So that's,
and there was a police officer hit by a car or something, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That's why, just on Let's Run Now, it's like the 13-minute crisis, how a struck officer led to the wrong turn at the US Half Marathon Championships. Just 5 minutes before the first runners come by, a police officer was struck by a vehicle a block away from the intersection in which athletes made the wrong turn. It caused other officers to leave their post to attend to him. And as a result, cones, which were meant to direct runners straight, were never laid out so that emergency vehicles could come through. Thankfully, the officer is okay.
Yeah.
So there you go, Moose. You went hard on this, and they're just trying to help out a struck down police officer. Aaron Scott called you out on the UK Monthly about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd want to look at this.
Got to settle down.
This seems a bit convenient. This reasoning.
And making it up.
Wow, have you seen the video of it?
No, I haven't seen any videos. I'm just reading this article as we're speaking now.
Yeah, real convenient.
And so Liam Burden's time, Moose, I reckon puts him maybe 11th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11th.
Who's he around?
So he's just behind Lee Troop and just in front of Pat Carroll.
Okay.
So pretty good. In front of
that Pat Carroll's wouldn't be the Australian soil record, would it, Croaks?
No, he ran 61:11 in Sydney, which Sydney is not a quick course around the harbour there. That's a freaking incredible run. It's pretty good. And Timmy Vincent's 1 second faster than Rob De Castella.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
I had some comms with Deke a couple of weeks ago. Well, not directly, but he's had a hip replacement.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, new hip.
Croaks, confirm this for me. Deke has a bakery in Canberra.
I'm not sure if he still does, but he definitely did. He was very well known for his bakery in Canberra. Yeah. Deke's bakery.
You should see this image I got up in the store. You'll have to come check it out. Yep. Big Deke winning, doing these ones. You know how he finishes? He did these ones. Helsinki World Champs.
Oh, yeah.
This one, a real powerful,
yes. It's a podcast, no one can see it. But yeah.
Screen record it.
Okay. I do love that you're both in the same spot. One of you guys has got no shirt on. The other bloke's got a long sleeve shirt on. This makes no sense. You're in exactly the same spot.
Next bit of news, New York entries. So only 1% of applicants will be accepted. There were over 240,000 applications from over 160 countries for the 2026 TCS New York City Marathon, which was a near 20% jump from 2025. So as you're saying earlier, Brady, about all the people running in Moama this weekend and there's a running boom, clearly. How's that? 240,000 applications. And of those, only 1% will actually get a start.
This is, you boys are I know Moose is going to a world marathon major, but you guys have got to start going to these races. Otherwise, you're going to miss the boat. You might never get to run New York. It's going to get harder and harder to get in.
I can't run New York. Can't even run. Why would I be entering races when I can't run?
That's what I'm saying. Because we've still got times next to our names where we can get into these races because we're so much under the age qualifier. Once you miss that, you're not getting in on the ballot, and you're paying big money. I looked it up the other day. I think it was $7,500 for a bib for London, plus 3 nights accommodation. Not for myself, as a gift. The gift definitely didn't get purchased because I was expecting it to be a bit cheaper than that.
Last bit of news for me. some Ethiopian junior world records will not be ratified. So on Thursday, World Athletics revealed that 5 under 20 world records set between 2023 and 2024 by Ethiopian athletes Berke Halem, Melknat Wudu, and Medina Isa will not be ratified after the AIU found evidence of age falsification. Yeah.
Ethiopia, just on the radar at the moment for a couple of sketchy things.
Oh, mate, they're the next. Yeah, they're a bit further out, aren't they? They're a bit further out in the hard to get to places. Ethiopia, not like Kenya gets a bad rap for rightfully so because there's a lot of positives coming from there. But
a lot of positives mean there's a lot of tests, though.
Yeah, be interesting to see the data on who's getting tested, how often, comparatively between the two countries. Maybe Croaks, that can be your project for next week.
In his spare time, ease up a couple of Netflix episodes and get us some data, Croaks.
Bit of investigative journalism. I like that, Croaks. Good one. Good one. We come back strong next week with that data before we get in trouble.
See what
Thanks
I
to
can do.
Precision Fuel and Hydration. Chances are you're gearing up for a race yourself, but how dialed in is your race nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner. Visit precisionhydration.com and get your numbers today. I'm out of whispers, fellas. No whispers.
Brady, just on the drug stuff, did you see the stuff about Festus Lagat as well throughout the week?
I saw his name in something, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
Yeah, so he was provisionally suspended, but then he filed an emergency CAS appeal, and he's got one of those top dog sort of lawyers involved, basically saying that Kenyan athletics now are basically throwing athletes under the bus to basically show world athletics that they're trying to clean things up, and they've basically just made these dodgy claims. So I think, according to Let's Run, he's hoping to have his provisional suspension lifted so he can compete for Kenya at World Indoors from March 20 to 22.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Any whispers, boys, or you want me to do a bit of promo for our voting for the songs? We've only got a couple of weeks left. But a couple of hosts still to send in their top 10. They've pretty much got them all. I did say last week expect to see some stuff on social media, but I got super busy. But I'll get some stuff off this week. Look at this top 10 that's written here, Moose. This is Croaks's. He's submitted his. Still waiting for yours. Ali Pashley's, Leanne Pompiani's, and Nick Earls. 4 to go. All the UK boys have got theirs in. The Road to Berlin boys have got theirs in. Who else have we got on the show? Nida's got his in. Tom DeCano's not submitting. Boycotting. But Croaks is kicking things off here. Lose Yourself, Eminem, Damn It, Blink-182, Dreams, The Cranberries, Faded, Alan Walker, Adelante, Sash, I don't know that song, The Bitter End, Placebo, there we go. I'm on Fire, Bruce Springsteen, When Will You Fall For Me, Vicar and Linda, Break My Stride, Unique 2, and BMX Bandits from the movie The Papers. That's a list. There's a bit going on in that list.
There is a bit going on in that list. A few missed out.
We've hit about, we're close to 2,000 votes. So people are still sitting on their songs. I'm going to see a big increase of that over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, things are tight at the top. There's 1.5% difference between the first and the second song. And yeah, things are tight. So if you haven't voted yet, get your votes in. Go from there. Moose on the loose.
No moose on the loose, but I was going to do something else this week. I was going to rehash something that we brought up a while ago that I thought was really good. The what is it? The weekly better yourself move, or the thing that you're going to do to change this week to make yourself a better athlete, person, worker, father, whatever. I want to hear about it. I want to hear how Croaks is going to better himself this week. What's he going to do? Is he going to slow down his run? Is he going to do that extra calf raise? He's going to help Viv with the trash. He's going to teach Collis how to hold his breath.
A couple of things. One, I'm getting some treatment on Wednesday night. So I feel like I've sort of been getting treatment every fortnight. So I feel like that's one thing that's going to help me be better and stay in one piece. And for me, the focus, I think, is running the workouts, making sure I'm really diligent with running the workouts in the right zone. So, 10 by a K on Tuesday, not overreaching, like being in that sort of Norwegian style of, okay, you finish this session and it's a 7 out of 10. You could easily do like 3 more, as opposed to getting 6 reps in, feeling good, and rather than running 312s to 315, you start going, oh, I'll run a 308, I'll run a 306. It's not the purpose of the workout, and I want to be better at that over the next month.
That's good from you, Crux.
Yep.
Good maturity. I'm going to try and I've got 2 things, Moose. I'm going to try to keep eating more because my Ks are going up, like 130, 140 last 2 weeks, probably. And I just got a bit lazy, like just unorganized. I've just got to be better at it. Like stuff like, I just didn't have enough like stuff, and I'm not enough food that I can just quickly grab, and not enough time to prep something. So I'm just like grabbing 2 pieces of toast out the door on the way to work. And I'm like, I've just ran 14K. And I need more than 2 pieces of toast. And I'm on yard duty at lunchtime, so then I'm going to be like rushed there. So I just like need to just buy quick stuff that I can just grab. Like, like a bag of like fruit and nut, stuff like that. I just need to have that on my desk at school. Yeah, the trail mix. Like
high calories in that.
Easy muesli bars, like even just like quick microwave meals that you just put in for 5 minutes to be like, I'm just going to quickly smash that down.
Snack yogurt. The yogurts that you suck on.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Got some carbs in there. Got some good stuff. What about those tuna and pasta? Don't even have to heat them up.
Yeah.
You just eat those small
little brand. Those ones?
Yeah.
They're good, yeah. You get the pesto one as well. You get like chicken. So stuff like that. I've just got to go to the supermarket and just like almost, you think you need X amount, double it, just so there's just stuff you can grab and just eat.
Up and goes.
Just up and goes. I bought a stack of up and goes the other week, but then I ran out and I'm just like, shit, they were great just to grab and smash.
Get a delivery, but don't worry about other groceries. Just do an entire delivery on things for you, and use the Watto trick, making you ashwatson58@gmail.com. Get that $10 off the delivery and get it delivered to your house and say, kids, don't touch this. This is Dad's calories. This is his anti-reds treat medicine.
Yeah, not a bad idea. And the other thing is, I mean, you boys might be able to help me with this. I'm in 2 minds here of like what I do for the next 5 weeks. And I'm real considering like dial in and lock in and run 4 weeks at 160 to 180K. And like, I could maybe get to Boston, get a tailwind and run a PB. That's what half my brain is saying. But that carries risk. The other half of me is just like, just keep the long run at 2.5 hours, do 2 sessions a week, maybe get over there at 85% fit, have fun, enjoy the Boston experience and go run. Just plan to run 223, 224.
That second one's for me.
Do I dial in and like just roll the dice a bit here? Or do I just keep like still, I'm still running 140K, like they're still decent weeks, but do I,
I feel like your fitness is actually progressing really well. So you're, as you said, you're not unfit, like you're actually going pretty well.
Yeah.
And so,
but do I do a top up to chase that extra big page turn between now and race day?
I would love to see you actually run less miles for this marathon prep and see how you actually run off that. Because the problem is every marathon that you've done for the last 10 years, you have this in your head, I need to run so many like big mile weeks to run a good marathon. Yeah. Why not actually experiment with a lower mileage marathon block and see what happens in Boston? And the positive about that is, well, there might be a few positives. One, you run actually faster than what you think, which then might change the way that you train in the future. And if you back off the miles for this marathon prep, you're less likely to come through the other side, not cooked, not injured, and then you can enjoy the rest of your year.
Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking. And it's still really hot here, like the fact of trying to double 4 or 5 times a week Oh, no, it's 25, 30 this week. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Croaks. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on trying to. What about you, Moose?
I got to reduce the beers that I'm drinking. It's become a little too convenient for me to just knock off work and have a knock off beer and then a beer when I get home. And then, yeah, they're just making me feel shit. The midnight wake ups, I'm starting to feel groggy from it. So,
Yuck.
but yeah, it is yuck. Yeah, it's all right at the time. It's like, and then yeah, the 2 a.m. and then the 5 a.m. You're just not in a good focus space. So reduce that for me.
Fair enough. Croaks, listen to question.
Yep, this episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And the question comes from local legends in running. What do you guys think of training blocks? Are they too indicative of change, or should we rather just aim for consistent yearly mileage, just ebbing and flowing around events?
It depends. These questions, depends on what event you got. Like, you were big on Moose, so circle 2 things for the year, do training blocks, periodization, recover. Like, sometimes you'll do a speed block, but not even race, but you'd still do the speed block. So you're more of a training block kind of guy?
Yeah, what does the indicative of change mean?
Are they too indicative of change? Yeah, Croaks, you got a dictionary?
Yeah, I don't know. Is there too much flux? Like, I don't know. Maybe does he mean there's too much of a fluctuation from week to week or block to block, rather than just aiming for sort of doing the same thing sort of most weeks? Consistent mileage, obviously having a bit of a down week in the lead up to races, and obviously a bit of a down week post race. So I guess that's what he means by the ebbing and flowing. So basically, you're doing the similar thing week in, week out, with some minor reductions around races.
Yeah. I mean, I like training blocks with specific phases for if you're targeting events. It depends is the right answer, but what it depends on is how tied you are to a certain event or a certain race. So if you're going to Berlin Marathon in September, that's obviously a really important, well, it's not obviously, but for me, going overseas and doing a marathon where I want to run as fast as possible was the absolute goal. And so I would plan my training around that goal. And in order to achieve that goal, I would make sure my training was absolutely dialed for it. So having a proper recovery phase after the last race, having a general phase of training where I would work on all systems, prioritizing perhaps becoming a more economical runner, like doing a lot more VO2 stuff, a lot of threshold stuff, and then transitioning across into a specific marathon phase for 8 to 10 weeks pre-event. That's me.
And that depends a bit at the start. Like, he put in here 4 years of consistent yearly mileage. And you guys would see it with your coaching as well. The people that want to come to the sport and be like, oh, I've got Sydney Marathon in August. It's like, well, how long have you been running? And it's like, 3 months. And you're like, oh, okay. And people pick events for different reasons in their life and stuff. But I feel like at the moment that 4 years of consistent mileage is getting undervalued for what that person could potentially do if they, and I know everyone wants stuff now. Sydney Marathon's a major, you want to tick it off, but I would love for people to go, I want to focus for 4 years on consistency, do some 5s and some 10Ks. I know they're not as sexy. And then I want to look at trying to get into Sydney.
I think you've read that wrong, Brady. He said, or just aim for consistent yearly mileage, not 4 years of consistent mileage, just aiming for consistent. So change.
I haven't read that wrong, Croaks, because he's used a 4.
I know, but I think,
I have now that you've pointed that out.
Change it for FOR instead of the number 4, and it's just I guess.
But true. Do you agree with me though that 4 years of consistent mileage is going to make you such a strong runner?
So I guess it's like looking at if we're looking at pro athletes out there. So I suppose when he says, do you just aim for the consistent sort of yearly mileage sort of thing? That's very much like MTC. basically do very much the same thing, like maybe take out the marathoners, but their weeks are always very similar with maybe some reductions around races. Where would you say like Jakob Ingebrigtsen, does he sit more in that sort of, like I'm sure he like aims to peak for certain races, but I feel like he's the type of guy that his yearly mileage, other than taking a bit of a break at the end of the season, is just going to be fairly high all year round, with maybe some reductions around races and a bit more specific stuff around key races. Would you say that those two groups fall into that consistent year round block?
Nah.
I don't know enough about Jakob.
No, they have this base period as well, but then once they come into racing period, it's very race specific stuff. Like they get to the track and they're rocking race pace workouts, and there's just a lot of focus on their base period, which is that double threshold stuff, like double threshold Saturday hills, and yeah, that's all base period. And there's no reason you can't run consistent mileage while polarizing as well. Like it doesn't mean that you take huge breaks or you run low mileage for a bit and then high mileage for a bit. You can still have 4 years of consistent mileage polarizing your training.
I think part of it also comes down to how intense your sessions are or how hard you're actually training. So I feel like if you're doing all of your sessions at like a 7 or 8 out of 10, where you're never feeling completely beat up, it's much easier just to remain consistent week after week after week after week. And you probably don't need the down weeks quite as much because, one, physically you're not as beat up. Mentally you're not cooked because the sessions are somewhat comfortable. That being said, there's still value, I think, sort of once every month having something that's like just a bit more relaxed. Whereas if you're doing really high intensity sessions that are breaking you down, like I think you do actually need a period, like a complete like down week to recover, to let your body absorb it. So it sort of depends how hard you're flogging yourself in training as to how often you need sort of down weeks.
Good chat, boys. Thanks for Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IRP 2026 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up? We've got the Adelaide Invitational.
Yeah, that'll be Saturday.
At a 5K?
I think so. Fields are released at 5 o'clock today, I believe.
Have we not got a timetable for Maury Plant yet either? Heard a whisper that's going to be a 3K instead of a 5K because they don't want the coverage. Like they don't want a 5K on the coverage because a 5K race takes too long, which is a bit shitty. Yeah, what about Shikari coming out to stall gift moves?
Yeah, it's interesting call. I mean, good for marketing. Going to get a lot of people on there. But is it the right person you want to be bringing out? Is this where you want to be spending your money on Shikari Richardson?
Well, it's a bit of a 2-for-1 deal, isn't it? It's Christian Coleman's her partner.
Yeah, but you see, like she's in the news for all the wrong stuff. You know?
What do you reckon they've paid?
Got arrested, right? Didn't you get arrested the other day?
Yeah, speeding. There's a video of her like talking to the police officer, trying to convince the police officer to like just let it go. And
yeah,
they interviewed her in Channel 7, and they know nothing about the store gift. She's like, "Oh, we'll have to research it." They're like, "You understand? You start on like a stagger, and it's on grass," and they're like, "It's got to be fun. Looking forward to getting out there, but we've got to research this." I just hope they give them a good handicap so they at least make the final. Like, just look after them with the handicap.
Well, if they're spending all that money to come out to bring them out, then they don't want them going in the first round because that's a waste of money.
Like Gout went pretty early, didn't he? He didn't make the final. Lockie Kennedy last year, but Maury Plant's on the weekend before, and she won't do Maury Plant.
Probably can't afford her.
I know, it just seems weird that she's in Australia. Her and him are in Australia, and they're not going to headline our headline event.
They would be some of the biggest appearance fees, like in the sport.
How much is it going to piss off the pro runners, Brady, knowing that there's some bloke out there's been like, I don't know, running crap all year to get a really good handicap for stall, and then they're like, well, are they going to give these two athletes like a really soft handicap so that they can make it through to the final.
Wow. Yeah, maybe. But I just don't want to see like a 15-year-old girl win it. I'd prefer to see a Sha'Carri Richardson win it. Like, give the stars a bit of a leg up and at least get them to the final.
Did Bree Masters win last year?
She got close, but she didn't win. It was like another. Yeah. Or did she? Maybe she did. Google that for me, Candy Croaks, while I'm talking.
I think she may have actually, because her husband had won it previously.
Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe she did win.
Back to the Adelaide race, Brady. So these are the events that are on. So there's going to be a women's 1500, men's 800, men's steeple, men's 1500, women's 8, and a women's 5. So there's no men's 5.
So we potentially don't have a men's 5K all summer. Is that why they were all at Box Hill?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If this whispers I've heard is true about Maury Plant meet, that it's a 3K, not a 5K.
Yeah, like some of it's really hard finding these. So like I had a chat to somebody the other day about lack of 5K races. Like even in New South Wales, it's like if you aren't ready to run a fast 5K at their state championships, which is like 14th of Feb, there's nothing for the rest of the season, which to me seems like pretty early on in the year of the track season not to have any opportunities to run decent 5Ks. Whereas there used to always be, I remember like the milers meets used to always have races, like 5K races, sort of back end of March, things like that. And it looks like it's happening at the top level as well. Because there's how many we had 2 Grand Prix so far?
Yeah, we've had Perth
and Hobart. There obviously was a 5K in Perth, which was a bit of a fizzer. And there's not going to be many others.
Like, are we expecting Kai Robertson to come home? Like Ollie Hoare? Like, we got to get the Americans to come home from Maury Plant. Jess hasn't been announced yet. That's worrying me that she's maybe not going to run.
Well,
World Indoors.
Problem is World Indoors is around the same time. So you'd imagine people like Kai and Jess and that are going to focus on World Indoors as opposed to Maury Plant.
Yeah, because what is it, 3 weeks away? I'm doing a run for the kids on the Sunday, so I was thinking about going on the Saturday night. But on their website, there's no timetable. Athlete info. Yeah, prize money will be published here when available. Athlete hotels, under that, it just says information to be added. Anyway, what else is coming up? Bluff to boat ramp down there. That's going to be a good race. There'll be some fast times out, Tassie. Some real fast times. What's going on with you, Croaks?
Not a great deal. Just training. Skyfire's on Saturday night. So I remember spoke about last year where the jet flyover. So big firework display down at the lake Saturday night. Head down to that with I think Jimmy Barker and the Crichtons.
You not going, Moose?
Well, he's invited.
Did you get an invite?
Oh, it wasn't quite an invite, but he said he was going.
You're invited, Lion.
Yeah, I didn't hear the invite. I didn't read it like that, but we might. I mean, we'll go down. That sounds pretty good. I can drown out the screaming babies with some jets.
What else you got coming up, Moose? No shoe launches this week. Shop runs. Yeah,
18th of March. Got ourselves the On Cloud Monster and Cloud Monster Hyper wear test up in Canberra. So we had a great one last week, actually. The ASICS one. Croaks didn't come, but it was very good. It was sold out, Croaks. So you wouldn't have got a ticket anyway. But yeah, we're going to run these Cloud Monsters. One of your all-time favourites, I reckon, Brad, back in the day.
Yeah, I reckon I sold a few of those for On back in the day.
So the first one was good. I didn't quite like the second one, but this third one feels better. But it's more about this Cloud Monster Hyper. I got it here, actually.
I don't think I ever ran in the second one, actually. They cut me off after the first.
Yeah, well, we did something to piss them off, I reckon. I can't remember what. But this is it here. This is the Cloud Monster Hyper. A lot of people talking that Super Blast 3 might be a little soft for long runs. I have your answer here. This is the one. This is the long run shoe now. Got some stiffness, got the good stuff, got the solid stuff. Nice fitting shoe. Looks pretty good too. We'll talk about it more. I got to do a video on it for the running company. You know how much I love doing videos.
More videos.
Should I put a shirt on for that one?
I'll keep it off. Keep it off.
Go viral.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just
we need to
not
go viral for something. There's
not
some
even
controversy about it.
Oh yeah, no, I like it though. I like it. It's unfortunate. I like it. I can't rag on it. You know, that's why it's not clickbaity enough when you like something. It's clickbaity when you don't like something and you have a hot take just to get some action in your comments.
That engagement, that's what you need.
What are you up to, Brady?
Standard week here, Croaks. Do some running. Just look at my calendar now. Do some working.
Good. The footy's back.
Right. Oh, did you watch the Pies last night?
No.
Team of the show.
Raiders won by 1 point in extra time.
Yeah,
Golden point.
Pretty tight here at the MCG last night as well, Croaks. Pretty tight. Did I tell you I got a speaking gig at the MCG later in the year? You wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it.
When it rains, it pours. He gets his Strava tick, and now he's on the big time MCG.
What on earth do you speak about?
Got this gig. I can't go into too many details yet, but that's kind of to do with the Collingwood Football Club, and it's at the MCG.
What do you speak about? Tell me. I want to know.
When it came in, I was just like, this cannot be real. Just
this motivational chat? Goggins style?
Like, this has to be made up. Someone's like pranking me with this, but I politely accepted. Got to wear black tie. It's going to be big. Anyway, hey, I did email that the reply about your Strava verifications, boys, not good. It was very much like, we'll find them. Don't tell us who to give the verification to. She was not happy. Not happy at all. Don't go asking for ticks. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
I wonder why.
Well, you did.
I want to know why the person that emailed you offering you the tick, why does she follow me on Strava and neither of you two?
Don't know.
Bizarre.
Something's, yeah.
Same person who wrote back to you, Brady? Was it this?
I think it's been lost. Like something's going on. But geez, I picked up some followers. You pick up heaps of followers, now you got a tick. I'm coming for you, Moose. I think I'm only like a couple hundred behind you now.
I haven't posted anything on Strava.
But you were one of the OGs on Strava. I reckon you had like 2 or 3 years on me. You would have had a couple of thousand before I even started.
No. It was we were like under 100 for a very long time back then.
I'm gonna
look. The OGs had to battle.
All the trail runners.
Yeah, just trail runners. It was trail runners. That's it. And we were. You know what's grim?
How can you see when you start?
Oh, I don't know.
You go to activity. Oh, you started in 2010. Wow.
No, I uploaded stuff that I had saved from before. So you can upload stuff. Like I had files saved from a Nike watch that I exported and uploaded manually.
Manually.
Yeah, I exported a couple from like Garmin Connect. Yeah.
Do you know when you actually started running with the watch? Oh, you've got stuff from the United States on here, Moose. Newport Beach, USA, 2011.
Yeah, I remember that day. Geez, that was a party that night. I got so blacked out.
Japanese written. Why is it Japanese like stuff in your title? Do you know? No one's giving you kudos. I just gave you some kudos for it on the first one.
Was that a marathon?
No, this was 18K at 3:40 pace.
Where?
You got stuff from Anglesea down here. Remember when you first used to start, it would have the date, so it just says 24th of 12th, 2010, East Geelong, Victoria.
East July, that would be an Eastern Garden session.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm going to go through, get a bit of spare time, Croaks, this week, go through this. I'm just giving you kudos for all this stuff. It's all just kudos free. Belmont. Hey, tell you what, he's got a bit of croaker pace about him here in the early days, Croaks.
I did, yeah. I used to run fast.
409s just for easy jogs.
And I was slow back then too.
So the point I'm making, if you're not already following me on Strava, just give me a follow so I can catch Moose. See ya, boys. Have a good working week.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. It was proudly brought to you by Say Sky. You can shop the full range at saysky.com, where you can also score 15% off with our exclusive discount code using the code IRP15 when you check out.
And I'm gonna hold my head up high. I was taught as a young man, doesn't matter if you're white or black. Just show love to everyone you meet, doesn't matter if it don't come back.